got a letter hat the wrong day when he didn't come to the door.
Oh. Well, between the two of us, I was listening to this little transistor radio with the earpiece. Look at how tiny they're making them now. I confiscated this from one of the students. Now I just can't stop using it.
You like music?
Not really. News reports. I used to listen to all the news reports when my husband was in the war in Italy. And since I came into possession of this little thing, I find myself doing it again.
You were a married woman?
Yes. But then he was killed. Is your husband coming?
Couldn't get off work.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, that will have to pass.
How's Donald
Sorry.
doing?
He's got average grades. He's making it through all his subjects.
Oh, good. He was upset about getting taken off the altar boys.
Did he explain why?
Said he was caught drinking wine.
That is the reason.
Well, that seems fair. But he's a good boy, sister. He fell down there, but he's a good boy pretty much down the line. He knows what an opportunity he has here. I think the whole thing was just a bit much for him.
What do you mean, the whole thing?
Well, he's the only colored here. First in the school. That'd be a lot for a boy.
Of course, that would be a lot. He has to do the work, though.
He is doing it though, right?
Yes, yes. He's getting by. He's making it through. How is he at home?
Well, his father beat the hell out of him over that line.
He shouldn't do that.
Well, you don't tell my husband what to do. You just stand back. He didn't want Donald to come here.
Well, why not?
Thought he might have trouble with the other boys, but that hasn't really been the case as far as I can make out.
Good.
That priest, Father Flynn, he's been looking out for him.
Yes. Have you met Father Flynn?
Not exactly, no. I've seen him on the altar, but I haven't met him face to face, just, heard from Donald.
What does he say?
You know, Father Flynn. He looks up to him. He needs that.
Mrs. Muller, we may have a problem.
Figured there must have been a reason you asking me to come in. Principal's a big job. If you stop your day to talk to me, must be something. I just want to say though, it's just till June.
Excuse me?
Whatever the problem is, Donald just has to make it here until June, and then he's off into high school.
Oh, right.
If Donald can graduate from here, he has a better chance of getting into a good high school, and that would mean an opportunity at college. He has the intelligence, and I believe he wants it too.
Well, I don't see anything standing in the way of his graduating with his class.
Oh, well, anything else is all right with me.
Well, I doubt that.
Try.
I'm concerned about the relationship between Father Flynn and your son.
You don't say. Concerned. What do you mean concerned?
That it may not be right.
Uh-huh. Well, there's something wrong with everybody. Isn't that so? Gotta be forgiven?
I'm concerned, to be frank, that Father Flynn may have made advances on your son.
May have made?
Well, I can't be certain.
No evidence?
No.
Then maybe there's nothing to it.
Well, I think there is something to it.
Well, I prefer not to see it that way if you don't mind.
I know this may be hard to hear, but I think Father Flynn gave Donald that altar wine.
Why would he do that?
Well, has Donald been acting strangely?
No.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
He's been himself.
All right.
Look, sister, I don't want any trouble, and I feel like you're on a march somehow.
I don't feel that you completely understand.
I think I understand the kind of thing you're talking about, but I don't want to get into it.
What's that?
Not to be disagreeing with you, but if you're talking about something floating around between this priest and my son, it ain't my son's fault.
Oh, I'm not suggesting that it is.
He's just a boy,
I know.
12 years old. If somebody should be taking the blame for anything, it should be the man, not the boy.
I agree with you completely.
You're agreeing with me, but I'm sitting here in the principal's office talking about my son. Why isn't the priest in the principal's office? If you know what I'm saying, and you'll excuse my bringing it up.
You're here because I am concerned about Donald's welfare.
You think I'm not?
Oh, of course you are.
Let me ask you something. You honestly think that priest gave Donald that wine to drink?
Yes, I do.
Then why did my son get kicked out the altar boys if it was the man that gave it to him?
The boy got caught. The man didn't.
Why didn't the priest get kicked off the priesthood?
He's a grown man, educated, and he knows what's at stake. It's very difficult to pin somebody like that down.
So you give my son the whole blame. No problem my son getting blamed and punished. That's easy. You know why that is?
Perhaps you should just let me talk. I think you're getting upset.
Oh, that's because that's the way it is. You're just finding out about it, but that's the way it is, and that's the way it's been, sister. You ain't going against no man in a robe and win. He's got the position.
And he's got your son.
Let him have him then.
What?
It's just till June.
What are you saying? I think that this priest has created or is creating an improper relationship with your son.
I don't know.
Well, I know I'm right.
Well, why you gotta know something like that for sure when you don't? Look, you got some kind of righteous cause going with this priest, and now you want to drag my boy into it. My son doesn't need additional difficulties. Just let him take the good and leave the rest when he leaves this place in June. He knows how to do that. I taught him how to do that.
What kind of mother are you?
Excuse me, but you don't know enough about life to say a thing like that, sister.
No, I know enough.
You know the rules maybe, but that don't cover it.
Well, I know what I won't accept.
Well, you accept what you gotta accept and you work with it. That's the truth, I know. Sorry to be so sharp, but you're sitting here in this room.
This man is in my school.
Well, he's gotta be somewhere, and maybe he's doing some good too. Did you ever think of that?
You don't understand. He's after the boys.
Well, maybe some of those boys wanna get caught. That's why his father beat him. Not the wine. He beat Donald for being what he is.
What are you telling me?
I'm talking about the boy's nature now, not anything that he's done. But you can't hold a child responsible for what God gave him to be.
Mrs. Muller, listen to me with care. I am only interested in actions.
But there's the boy's nature.
Let's leave that out of it.
Well, just forget it then. things out loud. Things are in the air and you leave them alone if you can. They were going to kill my son in public school. And we were lucky enough to get him in here for his last year. Good. His father don't like him. He come here, the kids don't like him. One man is good to him, the priest. Does the man have his reasons? Yes. You have your reasons. Everybody has their reasons. But do I ask the man why he is good to my son? No. I don't care why. My son needs someone to care about him and see him through to where he wants to go. And thank God this educated man with some kindness in him wants to do just that.
This will not do.
It's just till June. Some things are not black and white.
And sometimes they are. I mean, I will throw your son out of the school, make no mistake.
Why would you do that if nothing started with him?
Because I will stop this whatever way I must.
You'd hurt my son to get your way.
It won't end with your son. There will be others if there aren't already.
Throw the priest out there.
Well, then I'm trying just to do that.
Well, what do you want from me?
Nothing. Nothing. I thought you might know something that would help me. But I can see that you don't.
Leave my son out of this. My husband would kill that child over daycare.
I'll try.
I don't know, sister. You may think you're doing good, but the world's a hard place. I'll be standing with my son and those who are good with my son. It'd be nice to see you there. Good morning.